boosting investors' confidence in the market. Just share with us what the market is doing, what SEC is doing to improve market confidence.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you mentioned that the primary activity, separate from regulation, that the SEC is into is to develop the market. And one of the ways we have observed as an effort to develop the market is to ensure that we encourage retail investors. To encourage retail investors, we have got to bring in initiatives that will sustain their confidence. Because we realize that if you do not sustain and retain retail investors, when the people that come to invest, each time they see any risk and they pull out their fund, the market goes down. So retail investors are focused, and the various initiatives that we have introduced include, one, this electronic dividend payment. We have discovered that investors' interest got eroded because they were not getting their dividend regularly. That's what brought in the idea of getting them to enroll for electronic dividends. And as part of SEC's effort to encourage investors to enroll so that their dividends gets to their hand and then the unclaimed one gets back to them, the SEC has been underwriting the cost of registration since November 2015 up till date. The SEC recently, and for the third time, extended the period of free registration till 31st December 2017, so that as many investors can get enrolled. Because once you enroll, you will be getting your dividend within 24 hours, and all that are outstanding are expected to be paid to you within 10 days. Now, as part of, in addition to underwriting the cost of registration, the SEC has embarked recently on massive jingle campaign, which we are going to run both on radio across all the 36 states of the nation and FRCN, and we're going to do television jingles as well. We have translated the advert or the campaign message into languages Pidgin, Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa. And any moment before the end of September, these jingles will start to be aired. That's another effort on the part of the SEC. The other initiative that we have introduced is this direct cash settlement, which you have had. We discovered before now that the regime whereby you transact activities of sales, you have need for money and you have investment. When you sell, before now and up until now, sales go to your broker for onward transfer to you. Now, we discovered that the challenge of getting your broker to quickly get your money back to you sometimes can be challenged by some brokers. So to avoid that kind of experience, we're now introducing the direct cash settlement, which is functional on the platform of CSS, that if you key into that this year, as soon as sales are made on your behalf, the net proceed that belongs to you get wired straight to your account that you mandate. The beauty of it is that whether you have savings account or current account, whichever account you mandate, your sales goes there directly. As against the experience in the past that some brokers may not even pay you until they are comfortable. They will have sold and they will not pay to you. The additional cure of confidence that this one creates is that before now we had experience in the course of our monitoring and complaints that some brokers just choose to sell some investors holding with the intention to buy back later. Now, the introduction of the direct cash settlement as a confidence boosting is such that if such brokers goes ahead and does that, once you key into the DCS, the sales which you did not mandate will still hit your account. So the broker no longer has the opportunity to hold on to your. So if they go there to sell, as a matter of fact, you will now create a complaint and then we'll investigate what happened, and such can be penalized. Such is to boost the confidence of the investor and then get the retailers, the retail investors to be interested in the market. These are some of the initiatives that we introduced. Now, the last one which we are pursuing, in addition to integrating both E-Dividend and direct cash settlement, is to ensure that these unclaimed dividends, we tackle it headlong. And part of what we are doing to tackle it headlong is to ensure that with effect from January 1, all forms of dividend warrants issuance will be a thing of the past. That's what we are pursuing, to make sure that nobody issues warrant anymore. And therefore, that will compel everybody to enroll for the e-dividend if they must get their dividend. So we are working hard on that to ensure that this is no longer going to be an issue, because dividend warrants will no longer be introduced. Again, as the last one which I mentioned was, we discovered that many people bought shares fictitiously, illegally, because you are entitled to apply we are entitled to fill one application for offers. But we discovered over the years, especially during the times that public offers were numerous, that a number of investors, in an attempt to have opportunities to get allocation more than what they ordinarily would have gotten, they juggle their names. You know, you say Henry Williams, and then another one say Williams Henry A, and so on and so forth. Now, all those jugglings had been a problem in the market. They have invested their money. The market had looked at it passionately under the leadership of the SEC and come up with a 6-month forbearance, which will terminate on 31st December. Between this time and that period of 31st December, all investors that had this type of experience are given forbearance to come forward, identify themselves correctly. If you can correctly identify yourself, all your shares will now be consolidated. And then those ones that have not been able to have access to, you will now have access to it. So we believe that it will bring more confidence into the market, and many more investors will be eager to enroll. And we're introducing a mechanism that if new offers now come, because public offers are now going to be electronic based, so that this kind of experience will no longer arise. We are putting in place a mechanism that you can no longer fill more than one application form. And we are leveraging on BVN, because the BVN will be used to process such applications. So if you apply for 2 or more, the BVN will bring you out. Such are the efforts that the SEC has introduced as part of market development initiatives to ensure confidence is restored for retail investors in this market.